So today we're going to be continuing with our airline series, and we're going to be talking about some key airline performance measures, starting with available seat miles. Available seat miles is a key performance measure in the airline industry that captures the total number of available seat miles across all flights multiplied by the distance those flights cover. For example, let's consider a hypothetical airline that operates two flights, each covering 1,000 miles with 200 seats. It will have 400,000 available seat miles. The unit of airline productivity is one seat moved a unit distance. It doesn't matter whether seats are full or empty, the more seats an airline moves, the higher its production is going to be. Then there is cost per available seat mile, or CASM, which takes the concept of available seat miles a step further by dividing the airline's total operating costs by its available seat miles, showing how much it costs, on average, to move one seat 1 mile. This measure helps compare operating costs across airlines of different sizes. CASM is higher for short haul flights compared to long haul flights because costs are spread over fewer miles. There's also CASM X, which is calculated similarly but excludes fuel costs. Revenue passenger miles focuses on the paying passengers, multiplying the number of passengers by the distance they travel. So if a hypothetical airline with two flights has 180 paying passengers on board each, the airline will be deemed to have 360,000 revenue passenger miles. RPM is usually less than available seat miles unless every seat is sold to a paying passenger. Then there is revenue per available seat mile, or RASM, that looks at how much revenue an airline generates per available seat mile. It's a way to compare revenues across airlines, but a higher RASM doesn't always mean the airline is profitable, it just means it's gathering more revenue. The difference between RASM and CASM gives insight into profitability. A related measure is passenger revenue per available seat mile, or PRASM, which only considers revenue from ticket sales and other passenger-related sources like ancillary fees. Finally, we're going to talk about the average load factor that shows the percentage of seats filled on an airline's flights over the entire distance flown. It can be calculated by dividing the revenue passenger miles by the available seat miles. For our hypothetical airline with 360,000 revenue passenger miles and 400,000 available seat miles, the load factor would be 90%, meaning most seats on our airline are filled.